Hi, this is Joe again with another video. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to do another information meeting. I was trying to say another information video for my Big Six shareholders Facebook page. So those of you who expect me to do another movie review or TV show review or whatever, ignore this video, especially those of you who don't live in my car, which is plenty of you out there. I'm going to just upload this thing to you because it's easier for me to upload to YouTube and then link it to the Facebook page. So that's why it's on YouTube. So for my Big Six shareholders page, I have some information I want to share with you guys, and try and get through this, as fast as possible. I don't want to do try not to do another over half-hour video like I did last time. Well, last night we had, which was on March 1st, we had an info meeting in Building 3 with our building reps. I think this week there's a lot of buildings that have a building rep meeting. But this was the first, which is one of my pet peeves, was that it took, I think, about 4 months, about 4.5 months since we had an info meeting in our building. The last time we had an info meeting was in between the two candidates nights, and so it's really been that long. It's more than almost 5 months since we had an info meeting in the buildings, and there was a lot of things to discuss, and rightly so, because we've had, particularly in Building 3, we had a lot of water problems, and that was like the main topic of the night was all the water problems, the hot and cold water problems we had in the building. And originally the repairs work was going to be done in Building 1 first, because there was a building that was complaining, particularly a former board member, Howard Geary, was complaining about constantly. So of course they decided to do that building first to satisfy him, because his buddy, our board president Kevin Doyle, wanted to satisfy his pal. So technically Building 1 was actually done first because they also had hot water problems. Not to the extreme of Building 3, because Building 3 was worse what was going on, because at least half the building was affected by this. The A, B, C, and D lines were affected by the hot and cold water issue, particularly if somebody would take a shower or a bath or something, and it took about so long, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes to maybe more than a half an hour for the hot water to come on, and it will last maybe a couple minutes, if that, and it'll go back to ice cold. Or vice versa, it'll take so cold and then it gets burning hell, it will burn your skin right off. So it's a constant problem, and it's because of but there's supposed to be an even balance with the hot and cold water, especially if you put the hot water on, it's supposed to get warmed up and stay warm until you eventually shut the water off. And unfortunately, the balance was out of balance. To put it in simple terms, or at least the best way I can explain it anyway, was that the whole thing was out of balance, and they had to do it all on the 17th floor, because that's where the pipes went all the way as high as the 17th floor. There's one side problem. We have 18 floors in the building, so just about every apartment on the 4 affected lines had to be broken into. The walls were broken into. Work was done. There were plumbers inside the ceilings and the floors of all the affected apartments. I couldn't imagine what the mess was in those affected apartments, and it was really hard, because I could kind of relate to that, because I had leaks in my apartment. By inside the walls, I had the walls broken into several times. From my apartment to the 13th floor, but luckily it's over. I haven't had a major leak in my apartment since then, thank God. I did have a problem with the toilet line. Had to be fixed a couple years later, but I think there might still be a problem in the toilet line. Because I know there's a leak above me on the 15th floor. But anyway, I could. You have all the people who were affected by it. You all have my sympathies because I could relate because I had hot water issues as well. But since, like I mentioned in my previous video, the lines, since we had the second water shut off in February, that's the first one, but after the second shut off, water shut off, I haven't had an issue with the hot water since then. At least, then I have to wait and let's say 10 minutes for the hot water to come on. I didn't have that kind of problem since then. It's like minimal. I think it's a slight difference, but at least it's still pretty warm, or at least warm enough to satisfy me. But anyway, I digress, and I couldn't manage what the major issue, all the issues are. The major problem going on in those apartments and the breaking into the walls and being all inconvenience and stuff. So far as of now, it's been like 2 weeks, and so far the system is pretty much holding it. And if anybody who lives in Building 3, same building as myself, of course, you have to complain to the management office if there is an issue. And of course, it's one of the issues. It's the one-call system, and all of us are not getting the calls of what's going on. Then we have to have the plumbers come in and do the work. We're not getting any, one calls over it. And I complained about it myself. And they said, even though, like I said earlier, I was not one of the affected lines, but I never gone, especially the situation that's going on in Building 3, every single person who lives in Building 3 who was signed up for the one-call system, we all should have gotten a call. For simple, we all should have gotten a call. We all should have gotten notices under our door. We didn't. And he said the only time that I ever got a one call in terms of the water situation in the building was when we had the water shut-offs. It was the only time I ever got a one call in relation to the water repair work that's going on in Building 3. That's the only time I ever got anything. Anything else, I didn't get. I didn't get a notice. I didn't get a one call message. None of that stuff. So the one call system definitely has to be improved to get messages out there, to get calls out there to all of us. That's one of the issues that, when I ran for the board. That was one of the issues I complained about. Is the lack of communication, or proper communication. We're gonna have all the high-tech systems we want, but you gotta have them sent out. You can't delay it. You can't keep, putting bluntly, doing it half-assed. And that's what the one call system has been lately. I mean, it's been completely one-assed or half-assed, getting messages out there, especially for Building 3 residents who have been dealing with this hot water situation. So that's one issue. I want to bring up the other issue I want to bring up is, of course, we had yesterday on March 1st, we had this fire safety thing, and it was such a successful thing that was completely sold out. I couldn't even get in. My father wanted to go for it. It was sponsored by Nork, and he wanted to go there because they were giving out the smoke detectors with a 10-year-old battery. A battery that would last 10 years. And I thought, that'd be cool, that'd be great. We don't have to worry about changing the battery. And of course, they gave you safety tips from the New York City Fire Department, which I think was great. The problem was that it was sold out. Not many people. It was completely filled, and the problem was that they didn't give out the smoke detectors then. But if you go to the management office, well, not today, not only because of the storm that's going on today, but B, the management office closed early. Closed at 1 o'clock today. So they all whipped out. So if you need help, what the hell are you going to do? You have to go out in the storm, go over to the maintenance shop. Hopefully Howard Gearing is not there. They'll kick you out. Or call security and have you arrested for being in there. Even though I was a little board member for the last couple of months, he still has this stupid authority to have you arrested, which is a joke. Of course, you know all my issues on that. I'm not going to rehash it again. But what the hell are we going to do? If we need someone, since 1 o'clock, if we need someone to fix something in our apartment, and we have an issue, what the hell are we going to do? We can't go to the office now. And that's the other issue that's going on with the office, that if you make a work order, it's supposed to give you a number. They give me a number a couple of times, but 9 times out of 10, they haven't given me a number for need to make out a work order for something. But you have to, if you make a work order out, if you go to the management office and you need to make a work order out to repair, let's say, a clogged drain or leaky faucet or whatever, whatever else in your apartment, you have to make sure you get the work order number from the office staff. You have to demand one, so that way, in case the maintenance does not come up, you get the number. Let's see what else I have to bring up, or wanted to bring up. One issue that I do want to bring up is, of course, with the other Facebook page. I'm glad to say that also I'm sad to say as well that I am talking about current stuff going on at Big Six Towers. I am on this page is the only page that's really withstanding right now. And because we all know why the other, I'm talking about a real Big Six shareholders page was created, and we know who created it. Jimmy Hellman, or the late Jimmy Hellman, did, and of course since his passing, his page really went down. It's still up there, but his page really down the tubes. And I checked the page myself, and it hasn't been a new post on that site in more than 28 days, or more than a month. I think it's been like more than a month. It's been more like a few months since that page has been updated, and it's and they do have 64 people on that page, about 80 less than on this page does. But still, I don't know why that page has not have been updated. I know a lot of people don't like the stuff I post on here. I know that Kevin Doyle, incoming president, or should I say our outgoing president, because his term is up in 7 months. 7.5 months from now, he's going to be out. He's constantly been complaining about this page, complaining what I have posted on it, and still getting crap from Kevin. And every time Kevin sees me, he does this. Gives me a dirty look, almost phone like this, like look at me like I'm lower than dirt, pretty much. That's because I set him straight. Even though he still denies, he still feels that I wrote the post that I mentioned in my campaign videos, that he claims that I wrote a post saying how dishonest the board of directors is, even though it was Doreen O'Leary who wrote that post. Complaining that I wrote the post, if you vote for me, the only would be an honest person on the board, won't put anything over anybody, or give the full information for everybody, which is what the board should always be doing. Especially, I'm talking about particularly those board members who've been on there for a few years. Particularly like Kevin Doyle or Emma Bennett, or talking about those guys in particular, because like to, not give us like half the information that we need, or should have, because they never update. I never see notices updating us on the water problems that's going on in Building 3. They did put notices up about this work. There was work being done, but that was like a month ago or 2 months ago. There has not been a notice since then, or at least an update. Because I like to have like constant updates. I'm not saying like every week, but at least every 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks now. It would be nice if we got an update on noise under our doors, particularly Building 3, where all the problems are. To give us an update of what is going on, what is happening with the water issues, and all that. Because not everybody goes to the building meetings and all that type of thing, because there's only so much space in the lobbies. But it really would be nice if we got information and update like every 2 weeks on the water issue, or at least every couple of weeks. If not every 2 weeks, then maybe every 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, to update us on what the hell is going on. That's why I'm now starting to do these videos, because I demand, and we all should be demanding of the board, to constantly update us on stuff. But the problem is that they don't want to be bothered. Well, it's Kevin Doyle anyway, does not want to be bothered and constantly make up a notice, constantly having the office staff print up these notices and have the porters have a distribution for the porters to put the notices under everybody's doors and to update us on the stuff. I mean, they want them to do all the other stuff but not update us. I mean, come on, why can't they update us? And that's why I, man for the board, because it's very, very frustrating as a shareholder and not getting information timely, or hardly any information at all, because not everybody is signed up for the one-call system, and those who, or like I am, we haven't got any information at all. Yesterday I got 3 messages from one call. One about the storm, asking us to move stuff from our terraces. About the information meeting that was last night in the lobby, and forgot what the hell the other message was, or the third message was. But I mean, they give messages. I got messages on that, but not messages and updates of what's going on in the building with the hot and cold water issues. I mean, I live in the building, for God's sake, and I've been living in Building 3 for about 3, 4 and a half years of my almost 46 years living in Building 3, and I like to get an update to what's going on here. If there's a problem, everybody in Building 3, particularly those who are affected, should be notified, as well as everyone else in the building should be notified. So in case we hear the constant banging that's going on, with the hammering or the buzzing in the walls and stuff, we should be notified. So in case if we got annoyed by that stuff, we could know without running into the office and complaining, or calling up the management office and complaining and driving everybody crazy. That's the main issues I want to talk about. There's also one part I should talk about, and that is, those of you who remember Jose, who worked in the maintenance staff, whose father was Carlos, who was a long-time worker here, is now retired. His son, who lives with his wife in Building 7, because his wife has the lease in Building 7, or an apartment in Building 7, they've just been evicted from Big 6 Towers. Why? I don't know. But first he was fired. Jose was fired from maintenance because apparently he was accused of getting into a fight with one of the other workers. The other worker going to keep his name out of it, but he apparently got into a fight and he got fired for it. So he is appealing that. He's going through the process of getting his job back, and he's now because he filed a grievance with his union. I don't know how in the hell the union was allowed him to get fired. First of all, now we have this issue where Big Six went to landlord tenant court, and got him evicted. Got him and his whole family evicted from Big Six Towers. I mean, that is just, I don't know all the circumstances, to tell you the truth. If we have a regular info meeting like we should, and we haven't had one since, we haven't had a real info meeting since the election, maybe I should bring that up. But it's a disgrace that we had a guy who worked here for 39 years who got thrown out on his ass, literally and figuratively got thrown out on his ass, not only from his job here in Big Six, but also his apartment. And it's really horrible, it's really terrible, it's really a bad situation all around, and it's really, we should have an answer for this stuff. I mean, we really should, nothing should be, and it's been with Kevin Doyle and the former board member Howard Geary. It's been a deep, dark secret. What's going on? Naturally, they don't want to inform business about personal issues with other shareholders and stuff, which is a good policy to have. But firing a worker after 39 years in Big Six is a disgrace. It is. I mean, there's no excuse for it. There's no rationale for it. And I haven't liked Jose, so I'm kind of defending him a little bit. And also, kind of Jose actually defended me with the whole Howard Geary situation. And he also had his own issues with Howard Geary as well. So we have that thing in common. We both had issues with Howard Geary when Howard was on the board. And well, that's what's really been going on, and that's what I want to discuss in this video. I know my voice is starting to go now. So that's my March information video for Big Six. And since March is a long month, if I have to make one at the end of the month, I will. But this is my information video for the month of March for the Big Six page here. Please click on the video. Please rate it. Feel free to comment on the comment section on Facebook. Thanks for watching this video. Catch you all next time.